I like this road, Motor Warriors. It's not too far from the house, and it's got some nice twisties and views, and when you're riding in the heat, this is a good road to end up on because it'll cool you down some. And I'm taking it easy because I got my favorite riding buddy behind me, and I know there was some issues with GoPro or whatever the camera is that whatever. All right, I'll just meet you up here somewhere. But yeah, it's nice and cool when you've been riding out in the intense sun and heat. Days like this has got some shade and places to cool down. There's little streams that go near the water, and that'll help cool you down. But I like this little road here. It's kind of a back shortcut road. Most people don't even know about this road because it's mostly real locals that know this road, but I come through here all the time. I know a lot of people in Tennessee won't tell anybody anymore where their favorite roads are, because then next thing you know, someone will come from outside because they heard about it, and then they'll ride down that road and give it a fancy name, and then start selling shirts and whatever, and it'll, you know, bring in so many bikes that it kind of ruins the road, you know. So this is one of those that I don't know anybody that tells about this road, but it's been so hot. You can see the stream there. There's normally water in there, but it's pretty much all dried up. Well, there's water under the rocks, but you probably can't see that. But it's still enough down there. It's moist enough down there to keep it cool. But when there's a lot of rain, and then it stops raining for a bit, you come out here, that stream is going strong, and you can see it's still wet there, see that? But it's going strong, and it's a beautiful ride. It's a good shortcut to get over from one place to this other. If I ever have a Tennessee moto meetup, like Doyle's doing down in Georgia, you know, like we've all been doing over in Virginia with Mr. G, then if I ever do it, this would be probably one of the roads we come on. A lot of great riding roads not too far from my house, and I think this is one of them. But you can see there's still, even though it's been hot and dried up, there's still a little bit of water in some spots. So it'll go under the rocks you can't see, and then it'll come up where you can see it again. But like so many twisty roads, this is one of those deals that you really got to watch for people coming around in your lane, because they're not used to seeing anybody out here. So a lot of people cut corners. I've seen motorcycles do it, I've seen pickup trucks do it, and so on. But people will come out here and they'll come around in your lane because they're just not used to seeing anybody here. They're usually having the whole road to themselves. But today it's been busy. I've seen like 3 or 4 vehicles already. And I've been on this road for a while, and then finally decided to stop and turn my camera back on. But I wouldn't mind living out in a place like this. The only thing is that when it's wintertime and you get some snow and ice on these roads, riding some of these would be dangerous. But this would be a good place to have horses and some land, because if you let your horses get down to the river here, this little stream, this cool mountain stream, they'd have something to drink. You see there's some horses right there. Every time I see my horses and I'm in an area that I'd love to ride a horse, I miss my horses really bad. I grew up, you know, around horses and cattle and so on. My mom's family, they all had dairy farms, and some of them grew tobacco. I used to have to work in tobacco at my Uncle Jim's quite a bit. But it was good times, because we didn't get paid or anything, of course, because it's family. But he'd have a big barbecue and all the food you can imagine eating, and beer for the adults and Cokes for the kids and whatever, and you know, we'd have a good time. And some of my favorite cousins, we'd work, get tired, and need to take a break, and we'd go mess around in the barn or something like that. You know, go down. He had a nice stream going through his property, and we used to go down by that stream out in the woods to cool down. We'd ride the horses down there, and we get in the water and, you know, play around in the water and cool down and ride the horses back, and end up, you know, putting them up, and then it'd be time to go back to work, you know. But if you've never worked tobacco, man, tobacco is hard, back-breaking work. It'll stain your fingers, stain your clothes. I mean, it's hard work. But a lot of people grow tobacco in Tennessee, and now it's all regulated. But when I grew up, it wasn't regulated. It's like people just grew what they wanted, and then they started importing tobacco and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then the federal government started to regulate how much American tobacco they could have. That's just crazy. So when I go through those areas with cool mountain streams like that, it makes me think of my aunts and uncles that are now gone on to glory. And it makes me think of, like, Christy, my cousin that lives in Granville, and Anna, the one that I got to see on my way back home from VAMM, lives up near Rogersville. And you know, I miss my family like that. I miss all my cousins and aunts and uncles and whatever. You see horses and you miss riding up in the mountains camping with your own sons. Because we used to do that. I loved riding up in the mountains and going camping with my sons when they were young. Nothing like it, man. Riding dirt bikes up in the mountains too. It's like with me, all my life it's been horses and dirt bikes, and then got old enough to start riding on the street legally. And not that I didn't when I wasn't supposed to, but you know, then I started riding street bikes on the street too. But I've had horses that were so calm, you know, that it'd take a nuclear bomb to, you know, scare them. And that's the kind of horse you really want. We call them bomb-proof. I was out riding, I think my oldest son was riding my horse Thunder. My youngest son, he was pretty young back then. He was riding the pony that we had he named Mr. Ed. He was riding him. And then I was riding Star. And we're going along the side of this road back home in East Tennessee, and some drunk redneck morons come flying by and threw a beer bottle right in front of my horse, and it hit the ground and shattered glass, threw glass all over. Well, Star just kind of like, whoa, what the heck? It startled her, but she didn't bolt, she didn't take off running, she didn't scare me. She just got startled, but that's okay, I was startled too. But I didn't tell her to run, I didn't, you know, whatever, so she didn't run. But I've had horses that, you know, a butterfly goes by and they see it just right, and all of a sudden, and they want to run. It's like, well, they're green. You need to get them out, you know, get that out of them. You don't want a horse that'll take off on you or get scared so it'll throw you. You know, it's too dangerous to do that. But anyway, sure is a pretty day. Sure is nice out here. I wish y'all could join me out here, but remember to live your life with the heart of a Viking warrior. Bye for now.